subline. Okay, so look here. So this was the first example. In this example, we have given here 3 URLs. So we have seen it in the last video also. Slash is there, slash about is there, and slash blog is there. Okay, so once again we will see how it executes. So the name of application is second.py. Okay, and within the command mode you should write here assign application. So set flask underscore app to second.py. Okay, and write here flask run. So it returns the URL. Copy this URL and run it in the browser. Okay, so only URL it gives you output hello world, because this is the function associated with this URL. Next one, slash about. Okay, we will see how this URL returns the value. Then go to the browser, right here only slash about. Okay, so we have changed here URL. So when we write here URL, when we change here URL about, it gives contents as Vivekanand College, Kolhapur, because these contents are given in this function. About function is associated with this URL. And what is the third one? Slash blog. Okay, what are the contents here? This is the blog of college. So we will see how the change takes place. So right here, yes, blog. Okay, so right here blog. So this gives you the contents are, this is the blog of college. Okay, and what is the URL here? Slash blog, because this URL is statically defined. Okay, the next one. Next example. Look here. In this example, again we have given here 2 URLs. The first one only slash. Okay, this is statically defined. And what are the contents here? Hello world. And what is the next one? So this URL is dynamically defined. Slash, and within a pair of triangular bracket we have defined one variable name. We have passed this variable to the function hello, and it returns like this. So we will see how it executes. So 2 URLs are there. First one is slash, and next one is slash with parameter, and the name of application is third.py. So we will execute this one. Okay, so Control C, then set application. The name of Python script is third. Right here third.py. Okay, and then right here flask run. Okay, it gives you URL. Copy this one and run it in the browser. Paste it and run it in the browser. So only the URL without any parameter gives the contents hello world. Look here, hello world is there, hello world. And what is the URL here? This slash URL is there and it gives you hello world. Then what was the next function? Yes, within this slash name. Name is the parameter. So we will see how parameters are passed to the URL. So take same URL and write here ABC. Okay, press here enter. So look here, this is the URL with parameter ABC. ABC is the name and it returns the output like this, hello ABC. Okay, so ABC, this is the data for the variable name. We invoke that data when that URL is being executed. Okay, so in this example both URLs are there, static URL is there as well as dynamic URL is there. Okay, so with this example we will learn how to pass string to the URL when we execute that URL in the browser. Okay, got it? Okay, next one. So in the video we have seen what is the use of slash. Okay, what happens when forward slash is given at the left hand side and forward slash is given at the right hand side. Okay, trailing slash and leading slash. So within this slash Flask is there and within this URL slash Flask is there and in this URL slash Python slash is there. We are going to execute both the URLs. So look here how it will execute. So the name of script is fourth.py and we will see how it affects. So first right here, assign Flask application with fourth.py. Okay, then execute it by using Flask run. It returns the URL. So copy this URL within the browser. Okay, and what type of URLs we have given here? Slash Flask without the last slash. Okay, so right here Flask. So what it returns here is hello, because we have given here the contents hello. And when we write this URL like this, look here, Flask and then slash. So what it gives here is not found. The requested URL was not found on the server. If you enter the URL manually, please check your spelling and try again, because this server cannot find this URL, because in the program, in the web script, we have given only the slash Flask. Okay, but when we execute this one slash Python, so what happens here? Look here, same URL is there, we can copy it. Okay, and right here Python. So when we write this URL, it gives you the URL like this, slash Python slash, and it returns the output hello world. Okay, means we can execute this URL by using slash Python slash, or we can execute this URL by using slash Python only. So this is the difference between the slash, when we write slash on both side and when we write slash on one side. Okay, So with this we can find here how dynamic URL works. What is the rule of Workzoox URL? Okay, so /flask and /python/. Next, now how to pass string values, how to pass integer values, and how to pass float values. Okay, so this is the example of variable names with different data types. So in this one, this is the first URL /hello name. Because name is having string data type, we can pass it directly. By default, the data type is string. Okay, and what is the function associated with this URL? Hello. And here we have passed the variable name, and how we can call it with the help of %s and %name. Okay, execute this one. So the name of this script is sixth one. Assign this to Flask application. Sixth.py. Okay, run it. Flask run. So again it gives you URL. Then copy that URL. Okay, press here enter. So look here, it gives you error not found. The requested URL was not found on the server. So why it gives this type of error? Yes, because when we have written here the web application, so in this URL we have assigned hello to the URL. Okay, so the URL is /hello. /URL is not present within this script, so it gives you error. Okay, because look here, in this URL we have specified here /hello. Only /URL is not given in this web application. So when we execute only this URL without any string, it gives you error. How to execute this one? So what is the first URL here? /hello with name. So execute this one, /hello, write here name of any, suppose Lina. Okay, so the contents we are passing here Lina and the URL is hello. When we execute this one, so what it returns here is it gives you hello Lina. Okay, so whatever contents we have entered here through the URL, through the web address, it returns that content, so it gives you hello Lina. Okay, so this is regarding the string. The next one, how we can invoke the integer value. So in the web application we have written here URL /blog int blog id, because blog id is having integer data type. Okay, and this blog id we have passed to the function blog, and as it is having integer data type, we should assign here %d. Okay, so %d is used for integer data type, and the method of invoking the variable, it remains same as we have invoked string variable. Same thing is here, we have to invoke it by using %sign. Only the thing is, you should define here data type of that particular blog id, and here we have to specify %d. Okay, so how it executes? Look here. So again, right here, what is the name of function here? Yes, URL /blog. Okay, so change it right here /blog, and we are going to pass here integer value. So write any value here. Suppose the value is 5 /blog/5. So what it returns here is, look here again, what is the URL? /blog, and here we have passed value 5. Okay, so it returns the output blog ID is 5. Blog ID is the text and 5 is the value. Okay, so like this we can pass any integer value to the URL. This is dynamic URL. Okay, and how we can pass float value? Look here, the third function is /temp. Okay, third URL is /temp, and what is the parameter here? So temperature, name of variable is temperature, and this temperature is having float data type. Okay, and this temperature is passed to the function temp because this function is associated with this URL. And how we can invoke the value within the return statement? So we have to use here %f, and again same method is there. We can write here %temperature. So look here, %s for the string, %d for integer, %f for float. Here string by default, so we have not specified here any data type. Int we have specified here by using int. Float, real number, we have defined here by using float. Okay, so how we can execute this one? Again in the URL, right here /temp. Okay, and what is the value? Take any value, fractional value. So suppose the value is 5.6. okay, press here enter key. So it will return the output. Look here, this is your URL, dynamic URL, and the output would be temperature 5.6. So this value we have passed through the URL to the variable temperature. So it returns like this. So with the help of this, we have seen how we can pass string value, how we can pass integer value, how we can pass float parameter to the URL. Okay, so why we have to use this type of variables in our URL? With the help of these variables, we can create dynamic URL. Okay, so whatever login ID we have to pass when we use amazon.in. So at this time when we enter our login name and password, if your entered login name and password is correct, then only it gives you access to that particular account. When we see that URL in the address bar, so it gives like this: login name is equal to question mark and some ID, password is equal to some question mark and some ID. So each and every login is having its own ID and password, and when we logged in into that particular account, that parameters are passed to their respective codes. Okay, so with the help of dynamic URL, we can pass any data, any type of data to our website or to our web application. So this is the URL, dynamic URL. So whatever we have, whatever methods we have seen here, how we can pass it, how we can create static URL, how we can create dynamic URL. So this is the method. Okay, thank you.